Hi, my name is Mikkel Fowler, and today I'm going to be discussing with you how to pick the right size for a pattern. It's very important that you pick the right size before you go out and buy the pattern, or even before you start working, because if you don't get the right size pattern, you're not going to have the right fit that you're expecting to get. So it's important that you do a couple of things. Number one, you need to look at the sizes that you're looking at for the pattern, because they're not the same as the standard size that you buy for ready-to-wear clothing. So you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to look at the measurements, your body measurements, to find out which item fits you correctly. And once you measure, you're going to compare your measurements to that of the measurements found on the panel, on the pattern sizes. Well, to show you how to do so, we're going to use our model, quote unquote, our dress form, to discuss how we would go about taking measurements for you. One of the first things you're going to do is actually get your body measurements. And here's an example of the specific measurements that you're taking. And if you want to see a simplified view of that, would be this. So you're going to do number 1 through 5, and then you'll get the right numbers to start with. So we're going to demonstrate which measurements that is. You're going to take your measuring tape. I have this one here, and it's very flexible, it has big numbers, but you're going to take your bust measurement, which is across the fullest part of your bust. That's going to be your bust measurement. Then you're going to take your chest measurement, which is right above the fullest part of your bust. The second one you're going to take is your waist. Now the waist is easy to find. If you lean to the side, you can get where where the body starts to turn. That's where your waistline is going to be, right about the belly button. And then you'll get your hip measurement, which you're going to get the fullest part of the hip around. And the last measurement you're going to take is your back length, and that's from the bone at the base of your neck to where your waist is, and that's your back length measurement. So with those measurements in hand, you are able to go out and pick out which pattern. And that's because you're going to take those numbers and compare them to the pattern numbers. One of the things you're going to get is sometimes your numbers are not going to hit dead on. Well, in that case, you're going to go with the larger, depending on what you're making. If you're making a jacket, then you're going to go with your larger measurement of your chest or your bust measurement. If you're making a skirt, you're going to go with the larger measurement of your hip versus your waist. And that way you can adjust the smaller number to fit. So if your hips are bigger than the number for the waist, then you'll just have to adjust the waist down. So with those items, you can go to any pattern website or any in-store pattern, any store, and check a pattern. For instance, you have this pattern, and on it, it has the different sizes. But what you're going to look at is just this here, where it gives you the basic bust, weight, hip, waist measurements. And then you'll use that to help you decide which pattern size to get. Well, thank you very much for your time. And as you learned, those items, these little items that seem inconsequential as far as your measurements, will go a long way to making sure you have the proper fit for a garment that you make. Thank you very much.